want to do. And it was not about me controlling you. I had no control over you. I never had control over you. And if anybody had control, you had control over me.
How so?
By enabling your behavior to do whatever it was you wanted me to do. You manipulated me into positions to do what you wanted to do. That's the definition of it.
Yeah. So I manipulated you
into my behaviors. Yeah.
Oh, I made you the way you are.
I think so. I don't know. We're still kind of looking at that.
And the way that you are is?
I am a very passive, non-confrontational person. And if I was really a controlling, abusive power figure that you allege, I don't think it would have allowed for all the behaviors that went on.
What behaviors?
All the things that have gone on in our marriage. All the problems that we've encountered. So.
What
but
problems?
That's
like that.
Oh, my bad. There were no problems in our marriage. Our marriage is perfect, and this is just a whim of.
Oh, so you noticed that there were problems all along?
Yeah. As much as you did.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
We've talked about them time and again, Lauren.
Like what were the problems?
I think you know what all the problems were. We've discussed them at length.
I don't know.
This isn't about the problems we had. This is about the allegation that I had power and abuse, and that's what caring is in my mind. That's what you allege, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm telling you that's just not the case.
Then why don't I have money for eggs?
Lauren, I've given you plenty of money, and you have $40,000 to $60,000 you can go buy eggs with. Do you not?
No.
Where did all the money go then?
Power and control.
No. Question and answer.
Power and control.
No. Question and answer.
Power and control.
If you believe that all this is power and control, that's on you. It's a simple question.
There's no.
You're crying that you have no money, and I ask a question, where did it go? It's not a control. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking a question. But I understand that you believe because I'm questioning you that I must have power and I must control the situation. If you said, you know what, this is why I bought X, Y, and Z, I'd be like, okay.
Why do I have to tell you?
Because you're asking me for money.
No, it's my money. I want it back.
No, it's our
power
money.
And control. Okay. Murray, Erickson, if I never gave you that money and I put it in my own bank account,
yeah, we would not have the Colorado property. We wouldn't have this house.
I would have eggs to feed my girls.
Well, you have $50,000 of it. Consider that the down payment.
And over half a year, where did $50,000
How do you figure half a year?
Because that number hasn't changed since 6 months ago.
Let's talk about when this started. It didn't start 6 months ago. It started October 16th, November 16th.
No, it started
December 16th.
End of August.
January 16th, February 16th, and 2 more weeks. That's 5 months, almost. Not quite. It's actually 2
what
weeks.
What about end of August?
What about end of August?
That's when it started.
No. No, it didn't.
Isn't that when you came back from your trip?
Lauren, we didn't have these fights until right before I went to Washington, D.C. in the middle of October. In fact, in September, we were going to Barnes & Noble. We were discussing things. We were trying to work through this. We sat on the floor in there. But, okay, you have in your mind 6 months. Well, it'll be 6 months. I know you want to have this idea that you've been on the street for 6 months, living in homeless shelters. By all means.
It's not in my mind.
It's not what?
In my mind.
Okay, then they're real. It's been going on for 6 months, maybe even a year now. Maybe longer. I don't know, Lauren.
No, but I said it end of August, right? That's when you're saying that nothing has happened. There's been no fight.
Right.
But you wrote a police report that there was a fight in the end of August that you had to write a police report about. So how was there no fight if that happened end of August?
That's what we're talking about.
So since then, you said you took me off as beneficiary because I assaulted you. So there's been a lot of financial stuff that I think's been going on since 2009 when Hemlock was, my name was taken out of these
2009.
documents.
So it's been going on for 7, 8 years now.
No,
8
that's
years.
one example, but when Murray passed away or,
What
all
year
this
was
other
that?
stuff. Are you kidding?
No. What year was that? Was it 2009?
You're asking me the date.
Yeah.
You're asking me the year?
Yeah.
What's your point?
I've been planning and plotting for what, 20 years now?
You're trying to change the subject? Or
I'm
you're
not
trying
trying
to
to
like
change the subject. I'm just
focus
trying
on
to
a
point out-
detail? You're trying to dodge what's really going on, like clip your toenails?
Right. No, I just find it interesting that you believe I've been planning and plotting since 1999, 2000, 2009. I've changed names, information.
Didn't you take out credit cards in my name?
I don't take out credit cards in your name.
Oh, you didn't?
Did you sign your name to it?
No.
Okay. So I fraudulently put your name on a credit card? Is that what you think I did?
That's what you've been doing.
I've been doing
Why
that.
was my credit score 840, 830, and now I can't get a $600 loan?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because we defaulted on the Chagrin Falls property.
We?
Yeah, we.
Did you get an attorney?
Yeah, I have an attorney.
Who's that?
Vince.
Oh, he's helping you with the Chagrin Falls?
He's my attorney, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What's
So
wrong with that?
you actually took the mail this time that I left you for the
You
Chagrin
gave it
Falls?
to me. You took it out of, it was in Abby's hockey bag, and I took it out.
Yeah, prior to that I put it in the mailbox and you just wouldn't take it.
No, because there's nothing in the mailbox. Every time I check, that you take it. Just like the tax return money.
You took it out of the mailbox and you put it underneath in that other little loose newspaper hole.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
no.
must have-
And then I reminded you, you need to take the mail. And again, or I left it in the laundry room and that's why the Nordstrom bill thing happened yesterday and the Victoria's. And you know how much money is going to be charged and all these
I know,
arrears?
thousands. I know. Believe me, I know.
So power and control,
Power and control. That's right.
that's abuse.
It's abuse.
And you want to know why the
Right.
children do well when you're not around.
Right. Must be the case. I'm not around, so everything is flourishing.
I wanted you to get help.
I understand, Lauren.
There
but,
isn't any though.
but the guardian knows that you're prohibiting me from seeing the kids as not healthy.
And
So when you
yesterday,
tell me that they do better when I'm not around, I just like to document all that. It's good.
so
it's good to have this
yesterday when Marissa was sulking and sick
Right.
because you punished her,
I punished her. Right. You want to see the text? She said she wanted to go over to Dylan's. I said, okay. She said, maybe we could do, she was apologetic. I said, no problem. We'll go to dinner tomorrow. But believe what you want. Okay.
oh, right.
Yeah.
But what about the movies that you were going to take her to and then you canceled on her
When was that?
yesterday?
No,
No?
it was never in the plan. She was going with Dylan.
Oh,
That's what she texted me.
oh.
Don't, I'll put it in the next message I send.
Maybe you should use the message system
I
that the
do,
court
Lauren.
orders
Yeah.
instead of
Maybe you should
putting
too.
her in the middle.
Lauren, half the time I don't know where you take them.
You know, if you're gonna
It's okay.
if you're gonna be late and you're gonna break your commitments, and they're here with me, and you're 28 or 29 out of the other 30 days
Right.
not here,
Mm.
then you can assume that I'm gonna be doing their laundry and dressing them. And
Right.
no,
I don't know, Lauren. I just know that when I try to make plans, you try to foil them time and again.
you have a great system. You have the
Yeah.
court-ordered OFW
I do,
to use.
and then I find out that, oh, I've taken Marissa here, I've taken her there. Oh, she's not even at home anymore.
What?
I was fortunate tonight. Yeah, the
Because
last
you put
time-
it in the calendar.
Last time you told me, quote unquote, I have no idea, I'm not with them. And so when I said, well, Marissa, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm with mom in her car. But you had put in writing, I wasn't with them. So your blatant lies.
You know what? You don't
Deception.
think that she got in the car from the time she was sitting on the playground and I was in the car waiting for them.
Right. You said you weren't with them.
I wasn't. They were on the playground and I was in the car.
Oh, you meant it, not a literal translation. I was supposed to understand through a text message that you were with them but not with them.
So I'm supposed to get out of the car and stand next to them while they're on the playground?
Well, you shouldn't write a message if there's more than one way to interpret it, that you're not really away from them. So your message should have read perhaps, Marissa's at the playground, I'm sitting in my car nearby, I can go ask her. But your message said, clearly, I'm not with them. Period. How was I supposed to interpret that?
That I wasn't going to talk to them because I was sitting in the car and they were on the playground.
But that's not how.
And you have a phone and you could communicate with them.
Right. And so I said.
Which you do. So why should I get out of the car? I'm there making sure they don't get hurt. I'm supervising. Right. But I'm not going to sit there and get in the middle of your junk. I don't want to be in the middle of that, right?
Right, I know.
Why should I?
The 3 or 4 messages I sent before to both of you went unanswered.
To both of us.
Yeah, look at your messages. I'm
so
like, where are you?
Doesn't the court say that we should be communicating with each other about their work? You shouldn't put that pressure on them.
You shouldn't have to have any pressure either, Lauren. Just respond in time.
Have you read the contract?
I have. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Respond in time. What does that mean? Respond in time. Then you've read the contract.
In a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when there's something scheduled, you should not disappear with them and not be responsive.
Right, but if there's something scheduled and you don't show up for hours,
right?
What are we supposed to do? Wait around?
I know. I wish I had like that 9-to-5 job. I wish it would be great, but sometimes things run late, Lauren.
So
you know that. You're a
so you don't use a
provider.
messaging system to tell us?
I did.
It wasn't until 7 p.m. when you had that you were coming at 5.
No,
so they're
I got
supposed to
here
sit
at
around
6.
for 2 hours. You called at 7 when you
I
hadn't
put
even
several
left
messages
happy
in.
hour yet.
Right. I wish I was a happy hour.
It was Friday
Again,
at 7. You're like, I haven't even left the office.
I hadn't. Believe it or not, I actually had patients through 6:30 or 6 o'clock.
But you said on the calendar that you were going to be there at 5.
Right. Just like tonight. I have guesstimates because I want the kids around so I can get them and not have to drive all over creation guessing where they might be next.
So if you have a guesstimate, why don't you use the message system and say, I am going to be there at such and such?
I did. And
right.
you didn't respond.
I didn't respond?
No.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, right. You said, I'm not with them. You may want to contact
them.
Oh,
that night.
Right, that night.
No.
The last time I made a
because it was 2 hours later and they were at the playground. She waited around for 2 hours. It was almost 7 p.m. You said you were going to come at 5.
Right. Well, then you should have put a message in and say, hey, you're running late. They're at the playground. Come get her here. But I know that would be burdensome to you.
What difference does it make?
Because you're saying I don't communicate, but I do, and you're the
difference?
one.
No, because you're gonna get critical of me if I say they're at the playground. You're gonna say, why'd you take them to the playground? Why didn't you make them sit there, wait with their, make their hair and wait for me for 2 hours? I took them to the playground. What do you want? I mean, you're just.
I want you to communicate.
You're gonna be critical of like every. So what? So you pick them up at like a mile away from where you would have picked them up. You made them wait for 2 hours.
Right,
so what is the...
The point is...
Stop.
No, you stop.
You stop.
I'm not being critical, Lauren. I'm saying just communicate. Like tonight was perfect. I said around 6. You said she's at Dylan's. It worked out perfectly.
No, you didn't say it around... You said you had in the calendar 5.
Right, because I wasn't sure what their plan was and what they were doing.
So an hour later you let us, or minutes before, which was...
It's at 4 o'clock.
No, it was like...
4:15.
No,
look at the message.
It was close to 5. And it was close to the time you were supposed to come. And so it was a good thing that she was there. So we've learned that the behavior is not reliable.
Right.
Just like every event that you schedule for hockey, and I'm supposed to make up for you with gas that I can't take. That is a ridiculous amount because I have to buy eggs or cigarettes. Oh my God, which instead of food for the kids, right? Or and transport the kids to all these places. That,
right.
Yeah. Well, I suggest that you use the calendar because I really would like for the girls to have, you not let them down and.
Lauren, I agree.
And the spontaneity thing, like it was perfect. You didn't like not having a knock on the door. I honestly didn't know you were in there, so
okay.
that's why
I just said I didn't know you're in here. That's what I had to say. Was that so hard to be like, hey, I had no idea you're here. I'm sorry, I would have not.
Do you notice that you've been telling me how I should have said what was said in that I'm not with Marissa? I should have said she's on the playground. I should have said this. I should have said that. I shoulda. It's not about parent control.
It's about
And-
communication.
Right. But the communication should be you're going to be there at 5 o'clock. And if you're not there at 5 o'clock, then.
Like I said, my life, I wish it was that systematic. That when my patients end at 5 o'clock, I just kick them out the door, no matter what problem's going on, what's happening. That, 5 o'clock, I have to go pick up my kids. I'm sorry, we can't discuss anything further. I have to go. Is that what you want me to behave?
Homework.
Homework.
That's another excuse you use. Patience, right? Homework. And Rover's Morning Glory, that January 20th show, that was an emergency too, right?
What does that do with anything? It's work. It's called marketing and promotion.
Right, and then that money that you make goes
To pay the bills. I know,
for
crazy.
the food.
For the food and the house.
That
and
we don't
your
have.
Car.
My
your-
car.
Yeah.
And
your
it would have
car.
been nice communicating to
Right.
me that my car was, every time I asked you,
Yeah.
that you were paying that bill.
Lauren, it was being paid, and then you didn't give me any statements for several months.
Oh, so it was or it wasn't getting paid?
It was. And look at the bills. Who else paid it? You didn't pay it.
Okay.
But don't worry, I've been paying the bills.
But we would have these
and that's why I work.
conversations, right? Where you would be like, well, maybe I'll pay for the car.
Well,
It's not about power and control.
it's all about power and control, Lauren, and you have it all.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you want from me. I pay the bills as much as I can.
Well, just like
I know.
$20 or $50 or whatever you got in your wallet, like the $5 the other time I asked for Fruity Pebbles, but you said you had only 37.
Yeah.
But you could pay $100 for oysters.
Yeah, because I was trying to seduce my daughter. I was giving her oysters. They're aphrodisiacs. Right? Isn't that what you want me to tell you? That's what your allegations were. Why else would I get oysters for her? That's what you alleged. Yeah, that's what Steve August told Vince Stafford, who told me that's what you alleged. Yeah, that's what I'm up against. Someone who makes these allegations. And you wonder why, Vince? It's because you continue to make the worst of this by making these crazy allegations of things that are just repulsive and defaming and vilifying. It's sad. I'm not that person, but I know you want me to be that person to justify all your behavior, how you're doing all these things, that I'm starving you, calling my parents, I haven't paid the mortgage, that we're out on the streets living in homeless shelters. That's what you sent my parents.
And it wasn't true, huh?
It wasn't true, Lauren. The mortgage was being paid.
Okay. You paid the mortgage. But all the other
But you said I
things-
didn't.
All the other things, well, you weren't there.
When? When did I've never missed a mortgage payment, Lauren. Don't even give me that nonsense, okay? Talk about what you know. If you were living in a homeless shelter, that's on you. That's on you. Had nothing to do with anything. The mortgage is being paid. Never missed one payment. Nor, maybe I was late because you froze the bank account in some October, November. But since time and again, you continue to find any possible human being you can to defame me and vilify me. You don't think the guys at hockey told me what you told them? You don't think the people that surround you for the moment that are friends with us tell me these things? Do you not know that it just makes everybody look bad? I never say anything bad about you, ever.
You just do that.
Why do you think my friends still talk to you? I care about you.
Then why
Simply put.
can't we have eggs?
I don't want to go around in circles with you, but think about the things you allege and the
It doesn't make
accusations.
sense.
I know it doesn't make sense, Lauren. None of this makes sense. But maybe some way, somehow, you'll figure out a way to make sense of it all. But I can't help you there. The money you need, you'll get. Whether it's today, tomorrow, the next day, you'll get your money. Fear not.
But we need it now for day to day.
Then go to the bank and take out the $50,000 you took from our bank account
It's gone.
on October 24th. Okay, then it's gone.
Half a year's passed.
Okay, half a year's passed. That's good to know. So in your math, figure it out and make it happen for the next day or two.
You're not going to give us any money for the next day or two?
No, I'm not going to give you any money until Vince tells me how to do this thing through the state of Ohio.
And you
Because
told
it
me you
clearly
weren't going to
says,
use Vince.
did you read the letter?
But you weren't going to use Vince.
Well, that was before you were aggressively hostile and defamatory to me.
But you still love me and care about me and want me to have eggs, and then you're listening to
Yeah,
Vince, and
that's
so
one-sided.
the next couple of days we have to start.
Clearly, I'm a fool.
And you can come here
Yeah.
and face us
Yeah.
and say, I'm not going to give you money to eat.
You'll get your money, Lauren, but did you read the letter?
No, I want money for the next couple of days. I wanted to pay for her shoes.
Okay, but you paid for them.
Yeah, now there's going to be all these like expenses.
Don't worry about it. It's
because
on
you're
me.
not paying it.
It's on me.
I know, but that's crazy. And it
It's
took
all
long.
crazy.
We were on the express line.
Do you know how much the bill for all these things is going to be? For the house, for the Sugar Falls lawsuit, for all this stuff? It's crazy. You're right. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And how much money do you make? Are you an oral surgeon or a plastic surgeon?
I think you know the answer to all these things. But I know you want to defame me further. Go ahead. Defame me.
Defame you?
Yeah.
What are you?
Go ahead. You know exactly what I
Are
am.
you a plastic surgeon?
You know exactly what my training is.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
You know my training.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
Did you write that letter? Did you write that letter? Did you send it to the medical board yet?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Did you send the letter to the medical board yet? Go ahead. Do it.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I'm just wondering what you're up against here.
What do you mean?
I'm just waiting for you to write a letter to the medical board, making all these accusations. Did you do it yet? Come on. You can make all the allegations you want, Lauren. My training is my training. You know exactly what I am. Who I am, what I am. Right?
Are you a plastic surgeon?
What do you think?
Why can't you answer that question?
Because I don't need to. You know what I am. You're just asking to try and rile me up, get me angry. I don't really care what people think or know. I don't advertise or mislead. I tell people exactly my training, my background. I have no problem with it.
So why can't you tell me?
Why do you have to ask that question? Why ask that
You
question?
said you have no problem with it. So if you have no problem
I'm curious
with it,
why you want to ask that question.
you said you have no problem telling people what you are. Are you a
I know.
plastic surgeon?
But you know me. So why do you have to ask that question? What is it about that question you think is going to...
I'm documenting it. Are you a plastic surgeon?
Are you a dentist?
Yes. Are
Okay,
you
good.
okay? But so you can't answer that.
I don't
You have
need
to
to.
ask whether you want to talk about your toenails.
We can talk about your toenails, sure.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
Why? Why is it so important to
Do
you
you
to document
believe?
this?
Do you believe you are?
Do I believe what?
That you're a plastic
I
surgeon?
believe my training speaks for itself.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
Lauren, you know the answer to all these questions.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
Why do you want to ask these questions?
Why
I'm
can't
just
you
curious.
answer? Why
Because I
can't?
don't need to. It's foolish.
Are
Why
you?
am I going to engage this nonsense?
Are you a plastic surgeon?
Lauren, you know darn well.
You're not.
Isn't that what you want me to say?
Well, are you?
Are you? Why do you want to ask these questions? I mean, what is it about that question that you think is going to be so damaging to me?
I didn't think it was. I just was asking a simple question earlier.
Why are
and
you
I
asking
think
this question?
It just ran. You
What's
ran
the
down
sense?
this road of
What's the sense of this question? Why is this so
angering
important to you?
you.
I'm not angry. I think it's interesting. I'm curious why you're so demanding to have an answer, to have this documented. Why do I need to document whatever it is you want to hear? Is there a reason?
Are you a dentist?
I'm a dentist. I just fill teeth, scrape teeth, pull teeth. That's what I do. I'm a dentist. There you go. It's all documented. You have your answer. But you can use it in court and tell all the people how I'm a dentist. How I do all sorts of body surgery, but I'm a dentist. You can tell them
Vagina tightening.
all sorts of things, Lauren. toenails, vaginas,
No, you don't do
fingers.
toenails. That was just.
How do you know? How do you know what I do? Now you know what I do? You knew before, evidently.
Well, you advertise on the radio
Right, for breast implants and cosmetic surgery.
and vaginas.
And everything head to toe. There's not one part of anatomy I don't deal with externally.
Because you're a plastic surgeon?
No, because I do all the things that I'm trained to do.
But you can't say you're a plastic surgeon,
I don't.
can you?
I don't.
But you don't correct the misconception.
What
Right.
misconception?
When Rover talks to you about Hollywood plastic surgeons and
So I can't have an opinion on plastic surgeons?
well, you have duty to correct when he's saying what's the difference between this plastic surgeon and that plastic surgeon, and
Why is it
why
my
is he
duty?
talking to you?
Why is it my duty to correct?
Because you're on probation?
So on probation, my duty is to correct one plastic surgeon to another plastic surgeon?
No, that you're not a plastic surgeon. The whole reason he's talking about plastic surgeons is because he believes you're one. That's why you're there to do
Right.
the breast contest. And
Right.
you
So
don't.
if someone does a root canal, do you do root canals?
No, we're not changing the subject.
Oh, we
right
can,
now.
but we can give another analogy. That is exactly the same thing. Do you do root
Rover
canals?
wanted you to be there
Okay.
because
Yeah.
you were doing the
Because I do
booby
breast
contest.
implants, right.
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 And he thought you were a plastic surgeon. That's why he's saying, what's the difference between plastic surgeons in Hollywood versus the ones in the garages or
Right.
whatever?
Right.
And you just got suspended for deception, for
Right,
failure to correct.
right. Failure to correct, right. That's what it was, right.
And so when he brought up the subject
Yeah.
to you, you talked about clipping your toenails
I talked about clipping my toenails. Okay.
because you didn't want to correct. You just changed the subject like you do now,
Oh,
like talking about root canals.
right, because training in medicine, just like dentistry and law, most professions, there's overlap.
But you can't call yourself a plastic surgeon.
And I don't.
Well, you let him. You let the whole
So if someone
public
calls you
believe.
someone that does a root canal doctor, do you correct them? I'm not, no, I don't really, I'm not really a root canal doctor, but I do root canals.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You correct them.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't claim to be an endodontist.
I don't claim to be a plastic surgeon.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't?
Show me where I claim that.
You
But if
don't.
someone says you do root canals, you'd say, yeah. Do I do breast implants and plastic surgery? I do.
But if somebody says to you, "Are you a plastic surgeon? What's the difference between this plastic surgeon and that kind of plastic
And I explain
surgeon?"
it.
And you explain,
Sure.
well, I'm not a plastic surgeon. I don't want to give out that impression to the
Right.
public that,
Right. Because that's what's important.
And then when people, it's not important,
It's important that you explain your training.
right?
And my training actually is superior to most plastic surgeons, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because all I did was cosmetic surgery. And most plastic surgeons, if you look at it, aren't really well trained in cosmetic surgery.
So why
Just
not
like-
explain it?
Because it's not necessary. I don't need to toot my own horn. And if I wasn't good at what I did, I probably would fail.
But, I
quite
mean-
to the contrary, I'm not failing. And everything I do, I have privileges for. And I am certified in cosmetic surgery. So to split hairs about it as you profess as to be, deceptive is not really necessary. And it's a waste of time. And in fact, no one really cares, Lauren. But if they do, I'll be glad to explain it. Because I don't deceive anybody. I don't promote myself as a plastic surgeon. In fact, I promote myself as a cosmetic surgeon. And that's what I am.
Then why the medical board?
But I understand you want to put this on record to document the fact that you think I'm deceptive and I change the subject when people confront me about my training. But that actually isn't even true. But I'll let you, have these misconceptions and these false, just consistent with everything else you do.
Mhm.
Yeah. You just want to paint me in a bad light. I mean, what? You realize the
I'm,
only way you're
painting,
going
I'm
to paint.
not doing anything.
Yeah,
It's
you are.
I'm
Yeah.
just me. You're doing you.
Right.
I do the driving and make up for your emergency when you go on the
Right.
radio show to
Yeah.
get your kids where they need to be.
Right. Oh, the driving, right. That was actually the Cokers, if you recall, that you really didn't want them to go because you thought it was my duty. That was a derelict of my duties to not maintain my practice and promote my practice so I can pay you and pay the bills.
But you're
etc.
not paying me or the bills.
Oh, the bills are just getting paid by magical monies.
I don't know
The
what
money
happened
tree in
at
the backyard.
Nordstrom or what happened at, the Victoria's Secret, or why my credit is,
Yeah.
gone from 840 to nothing, and why we don't have
Mhm.
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your credit went down to nothing, just like mine did, because we are in several lawsuits about money with banks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you were able to pay for your practice, and my suddenly.
Magical money. I took all the money from your grandfather into a Swiss bank account with secret numbers, and that's what I used to finance the deal. Did you get the forensic account? They'll find it all. There's offshore money. Can we sit down? My back's starting to hurt.
Sure.
All right. You want to go that way? I'll go that way.
Okay. I'm gonna get my charger.
Okay.